Good afternoon. Welcome to my fast-paced math courses, and today's topic is called integer. What is integer? Integer is the mixture of positive numbers and negative numbers. As you know, positive numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 50 to the infinitive, and negative numbers are minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 10, minus 1000 to the minus infinitive. When do we use integers? For example, imagine you want to travel to some countries and you choose a destination. You look at the weather. It says plus 17 Celsius, which means you have to take your light clothes because the weather is hot here. Or you come up with a country which has the weather of minus 23 Celsius and you realize you have to take your winter clothes. The next example is money. Imagine you won $1,000 in the lottery. This is the money you are receiving. That's why it should be plus. So you take the money, you go clubbing, you dance, you enjoy, you spend it for your own expenses, and you pay $600, which means you are giving the money. That's why it's put minus sign here. Let's move on to the subtraction and addition of integers. Rule number one. If you see the same signs, which means you have got minus 7 and you have got minus 4, the same signs, add them together. Okay, let's add them. 7 plus 4, which means 11. Okay, then keep that sign, which means we have to keep that minus sign with us. We have to keep that minus sign with us. So our final answer is minus 11. Next question. We have got the same signs, minus 8, minus 11. Because of the rule, we have to add them, 8 plus 11, which means our result is 19. However, it says keep that sign, which means we have to keep the minus sign behind 19. So the result is minus 19. Rule number two. If different signs, imagine we have got minus 11 and plus 7, different signs, minus and plus, subtract them normally from big number to the small. From big number, subtracted small number, which means result is 4. However, it says choose the higher number sign. Please pay attention to your numbers. Ask yourself which one is bigger. Of course, 11 is bigger. That's why you have to choose that sign, which means your answer is minus 4. The next question. We have got different signs, minus 24 and plus 30. According to the rule, we have to subtract from big number to the small number, resulting 6. Okay, then pay attention. Which one is bigger number? Definitely 30. That's why our answer should be positive. Just leave it as a 6. I know it's a bit confusing or a bit problematic for some of you. That's why we have an easier way, which is a cheat code. Let me explain how it works. With cheat code, please imagine the minus sign is the debt you have to give someone, and plus sign is the money you have on your pocket. So calculation will be easier. For example, imagine you have to give $5 to someone, it's your debt, and you have got $2 in your pocket. Once you pay the $2, how much you owe to that person again? You owe $3. This is your debt which should be paid off. Or imagine you have got $30 in your pocket and you have to give $40 to someone because it's your debt. How much money do you have to give once you pay $30? Again, you have $10 debt left. Another question, you have got $4, you took that from somebody, and the next day you again took $14 from that person. Your debts are doubled up. How much money you have to give? You have to give $18 to that person back. This is your debt. Please remember, have a small reminder. If you see two negative signs, please make it positive. That 2 minus should be changed to the plus, and your answer should be 12. Again, the same process. We have got two negative signs. Please make it positive, and you have got the result of 15. Multiplication and division of integers. We have got only one rule, which you should remember always. If you multiply negative number to the positive number, your answer is always negative. For example, -4 multiplied to equal to 8. Or if you multiply positive number to the negative number, again, your answer should be negative. Positive 8 is being multiplied to -4, which is equal to -32. Please keep in mind, if you have got one negative number among two different numbers, your answer should be always negative. One negative number means your answer is negative. If you multiply two negative numbers, your answer should be positive. For example, if you multiply -4 to the -5, your answer should be 20. So when you multiply two negative numbers, your answer should be positive. And last one, when you multiply two positive numbers, your answer is positive. I hope you understood. This is the most easiest part of math, and if you still cannot figure it out, just give up math right now. Otherwise, you might have serious trauma. And if you divide negative number to the positive number, your answer is negative. If you divide positive number to the negative number, your answer is also negative. The same rule. However, if you divide two negative numbers, your answer should be positive. And if you divide two positive numbers, your answer should be positive as well.